Welcome to Sumita Roy's English Classroom. I'm Professor Sumita Roy. Today's video deals with a grammar lesson which we've already done, primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. You can go back and check out those videos. Here we have simple conversation. Those of you who are struggling with English will find that we use auxiliary verbs very often in our conversation. So these are just a few sentence conversations. We have 14 of them, short dialogues between two people. And here you will find the use of the primary and modal auxiliary verbs, how they can be used in your daily conversation. The important thing in this video is to listen carefully, to note the verbs which are being used, and to try to repeat each sentence. The more you repeat them, the better you become. Because unless you listen carefully, and you can read it because it's there on the screen, listen, read, and then try to speak it out aloud from your own lips. If you can do this, then your speaking will improve rapidly. You have to be constantly practicing in order to improve your speaking. I'm making many videos on speaking, and this is one more addition to what I'm telling you about fluent speaking or spontaneous speaking or speaking practice. Here is a method of practice which I'm showing you. So please follow carefully all the 14 dialogues which are there here. You can see that there are two people speaking. One is in the green color and the other is in a box of brown color. Now, in the first few slides, I have also highlighted the auxiliary which is being used. But that is for you to only note, not for you to remember, because you will be able to remember the whole sentence. Just a verb is not enough for you to remember. You need to remember connected speech. This whole sentence has to be remembered. This you can practice by standing in front of your mirror. You have the sentences in your mind because there are just 3 or 4 sentences in each slide. Which is the way to MG Road? Now somebody is asking, which is the way? Is auxiliary verb primary? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those places. So the second person replies by saying, I am. Now we don't say full I am. We put an apostrophe and say, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those places. So you can repeat, which is the way to MG Road? Suppose somebody asks you, then how will you reply? Either you know the way, you show them. Otherwise you say, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those places. This you have to repeat, because as soon as I read it out, it is for you to repeat. That is one way of learning good English, immediate response you can give if these sentences are there in your mind. Then the other person says, where's your house then? Isn't this your house? Now, where is? So full is we don't say. Like we said initially, which is. Here is not full, so we put apostrophe and s. Isn't this your house? Question. Now, doubt is there, so isn't. Is this your house is not being said because where's your house already question is asked. So isn't this your house? No, we are no longer staying here. We are short form we're. So we say, we are no longer staying here. My house is quite far from here. Instead of saying my house is, you can also put an apostrophe and s and say, my house is quite far from here. So the auxiliaries are put in a manner in which the conversation becomes more, it becomes shorter, more concise, and then you have to repeat them. So you have to repeat, which is the way to MG Road? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those places. Where's your house then? Isn't this your house? No, we are no longer staying here. My house is quite far from here. So you see, I read it out to you so many times. Now, what you have to do is to repeat immediately after that. If you repeat these sentences, don't repeat it once, repeat it 10 times. These sentences become a part of your memory. Now, what happens is when you start speaking, you don't hesitate because that comes from your memory. Now we move on to the simple conversation between two people, the second one. As I told you, there are 14 of them. Now, this is the second one. Unless you read them, unless you listen to them as I pronounce, you will not be able to immediately recall them to mind when you want to use such a sentence. So I would suggest that you repeat it many times. Repeat it loudly and repeat it with full energy, full force. Is this your own house? Question. No. Now again, is auxiliary verb. It's highlighted. First few conversations I've highlighted them. No, it's a rented house. We shall be here for a few more years. Shall be is the auxiliary verb. It is not fully written. It's. That is apostrophe S. Actually, it is. So again, auxiliary verb. Aren't you taking a loan to buy a house? So aren't, again, auxiliary verb. Yes, I'm planning to do that, but not immediately. So we have here am and to do. Although to do is not used as a verb here, but it is a structure as verb. I will tell you more about these non-finite verbs later. So now look at the conversation. Is this your own house? No, it's a rented house. Now see the question. Is this your own house? No, it's a rented house. We shall be here for a few more years. So one more additional information, not asked, but given. We shall be here for a few more years. Aren't you taking a loan to buy a house? Now, aren't you taking a loan to buy a house? Again, the first person who spoke again asked a question. Yes. So earlier answer was no. Now here answer is yes. I have given you yes no questions one whole video. I'm sure you can go back to that and keep practicing. Yes, I'm planning to do that, but not immediately. Now notice at certain points, although there is no punctuation mark, I'm stopping for some time. These pauses are very important for improving your spoken English. Unless you speak in a group, the words which fit together, you are not getting the rhythm of the language. So we say, is this your own house? In a single breath. No, comma is there, stop. It's a rented house. We shall be here, stop here, for a few more years. We shall be here for a few more years. Aren't you taking a loan to buy a house? Yes, I'm planning to do that, but not immediately. Again, before but, small pause. This you have to remember when you are repeating, repeat exactly. Repeat with the same rhythm as the speaker is saying. Whichever video you're watching, you can do that. Here is the third one. Was your visit to your village enjoyable? No, it wasn't. Before I could begin to have fun, my boss called me back to work. That's too bad. When you are going there next time, I'll be happy to go with you. Great. That'll be very nice. You're welcome. Now you see the highlighted portions. Was is a helping verb. Wasn't and could, again helping verbs. That is not fully written. That's are is again helping verb. I will or I shall. Only ll is written with apostrophe. So will, wi, or shall, sha, are all not written. Only apostrophe is written with ll. Then again, that'll be great. That will. Then you are. You are fully is not written. You're. Where we practiced the auxiliary verbs only with sentences, here we are practicing them with dialogues. And remember, the maximum use of verbs in your sentences are the helping verbs. Because most often, without using the helping verbs, you cannot use the main verbs except when they are in the simple tenses. I will immediately talk to you also about simple tenses, continuous, perfect, all those. So you say, was your visit to your village enjoyable? Was your visit to your village enjoyable? Then you say, no, it wasn't. Before I could begin to have fun, my boss called me back to work. Now see the pauses. Before I could begin to have fun, all together in one go. My boss called me back, again another unit. No punctuation is there, to work. So you say, no, it wasn't. Before I could begin to have fun, my boss called me back to work. Very small, maybe 1 second pause, but it shows that this is a group where it makes sense together. If you say, my boss called me back, doesn't make sense. You should never break like that. That's too bad, all at once. When you're planning to go there next time, all together, when you're planning to go there next time, pause, I'll be happy to go with you. Go with, we can also say accompany. I have given you a video for advanced vocabulary. Even if you are a beginner, but you want to appear for an interview or you want to appear for an examination, competitive examination, please learn the advanced vocabulary. Unless you learn that advanced vocabulary slowly, not all at once, but per day, one or two of them, you will not be able to crack your interview or your examination very easily. To make your life easier, these videos will help you. Later in life also, they will help you much. When you suddenly want to refer to something, you can always come back to these videos and check them out. So he says, before I could begin to have fun, my boss called me back to work. That's too bad. When you're going when you are fully is written, but we can always, while speaking, say, when you're going there next time, I'll be happy to go with you. I'll be happy to accompany you. Great. That'll be very nice. That will. You're welcome. You are welcome. That is how it is. Here's the fourth one. Will you be attending the meeting this evening? We'll try. Now, will you here means plural you. So many people are there. We'll try to be there, but it's not certain yet. What about the others who've been invited to attend? They're going to be present, I'm sure. So all the highlighted words are the auxiliary verbs. The conversation is simple. Two people are talking, but there is a group involved here. Many people are mentioned here who are not talking. They're just maybe they are there present, but they are not saying anything. Will is a verb, helping verb. Will be is the form, the future form. Then will is we shall or we will. It's, it is. Then we have who've, who have. Who've been invited means who have. We are not saying HAVE. We are removing HA, putting an apostrophe and say who've. Who've is there. They're going to be there, I'm sure. They are, I am. These are the forms. So here again, you read it like this. Will you be attending the meeting this evening? Now we have 3 units here. Will you be attending the meeting this evening? That is how you can easily remember it. You can also pronounce it. We'll try to be there, but it's not certain yet. Now, 2 units. We'll try to be there, pause, but it's not certain yet. What about the others who've been invited to attend? What about the others? Pause. Who've been invited to attend? Again, full together. They are going to be present. Again, pause. I'm sure. So you see how rhythmic the language is. And if you break the rhythm, then however good your grammar is, you you're not going to get, you know, appreciated for your English. You need to keep the rhythm of the language, break it. This is there in advanced level pronunciation, where I have given a lesson on breath group. That you can go and check. You will be able to do it very easily. From this slide, that is number 5 to 14, I have not highlighted the auxiliary verbs. Now that is for you to do. And I will also not spend a long time explaining the verbs to you, because already I have given you 2 videos with explanations. You can go there. Here, what is your exercise? Your exercise is to look at the sentences, listen to me reading them, and repeat them. If you can repeat them exactly as I'm reading them, then these will stay in your mind. Your repetition has to be many times. Once you have repeated them, what you will feel is that in all these contexts, you will have some sentences. Already the sentences are stored in your mind. If this situation comes, you can immediately pick out one of those sentences from your mind and say it out clearly. This is what is going to happen now with all these conversations. Why are you looking so worried? Somebody says, I'm not really worried, just a little disturbed. Is there anything we can do to help? Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'll keep that in mind. All of us will be glad to do anything you want. I'm better now. Meeting with you and talking with all of you has helped. I must say that's a relief. All the best. Simple conversation about somebody who's looking worried, and another person who's saying that we are all your friends, we will help you. Such a situation, when it comes to your mind, you struggle, you hesitate. Don't do that. So let us read it once more. Why are you looking so worried? Now, we have why are. I'm not stressing there. I'm saying, why are you looking so worried? Why? ARE becomes RE, and we don't pronounce it so prominently. I'm not really worried. I am is there, but I'm not really worried. Just a little disturbed. Is there anything we can do to help? Is there anything, break, we can do, break, to help? Thank you. It's very kind of you, single unit. I'll keep that in mind. Again, single unit. All of us will be glad to do anything you want. Now, see how many 4 units. All of us will be glad to do anything you want. There are 4 bits. All of us will be glad to do anything you want. I'm better now, single unit. Meeting with you and talking with all of you has helped. So you have 3 units. Meeting with you and talking with all of you has helped. I must say that's a relief. I must say 1 unit. That's a relief. Again, another unit. All the best. 1 unit. So try reading it like this. Try reading it 10, 20 times so that next time you see somebody worried, you can carry out a conversation like this. We shall go faster now because the conversations are in there in front of you, and I'm just reading them out maybe once or twice to help you. Have you some time to spare? Have you some time to spare? That is how it is. Have you some time to spare? Only a little. I've had a busy day today. Haven't had any rest at all. My friend has a new house which he's eager to show us. Let's go there and have a quick look then. Wish you had more time. If we go now, we have to rush. And I'm not comfortable with that. In that case, we could plan for tomorrow. The conversation is simple. Two people are saying they want to go and see a third friend's house. So they make a plan for the next day because today one of the persons is not feeling, energetic, feeling tired. So, have you some time to spare? Only a little. I've had a busy day today. Haven't had any rest at all. My friend has a new house which he's eager to show us. Let's go there and have a quick look then. Wish you had more time. If we go now, we have to rush, and I'm not comfortable with that. Now, see, such a long sentence. If we go now, we have to rush, and I'm not comfortable with that. You are breaking that long sentence into different breath groups so that it becomes easy to pronounce, easy to say. We cannot say, if we go now, we have to rush, and I'm not comfortable with that. That is not the way to say it. We have to say it like, wish you had more time. If we go now, we have to rush, and I'm not comfortable with that. In that case, we could plan for tomorrow, 2 units. In that case, we could plan for tomorrow. Let's go faster now. I will not repeat it. I will just read them. Observe the reading and repeat. Don't forget to repeat. If you keep these sentences in your mind, your communication becomes that much easier. We have an appointment at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Really? Does it have anything to do with the new project we are working on? Does it have anything to do with the new project we are working on? So 3 units of a single sentence. And the question form is there. So we say, does it have anything to do with the new project we are working on? That is the way in which a question is asked. No, it is about the report I have submitted. 2 units. It is about the report I have submitted. It's up for discussion. That is a single unit. Have you written a very long report? Have you written a very long report? Question again. It's about 30 pages. It may be a little longer. About means approximate. So it may be a little longer. Then it'll take at least an hour. Then you stop. It'll take at least an hour. We may need to be there for more time. So these people are talking about their office. Many of you office goers are struggling with English. Many of you who haven't got jobs are struggling with English. These conversations will help to build up your mental abilities to frame sentences. That is most important. Here is number 8. Do you know Mr. Sharma well? Again, you see the divisions. Do you know Mr. Sharma well? Yes, I do. He's a very good neighbor. Where does Mr. Sharma work? I don't know exactly. I was told he did his master's and is working in a reputed firm. Now notice how many units are there here. I was told he did his master's and is working in a reputed firm. So you have 4 units where you need to put the words together. Does he visit you often? He used to do so earlier. Now he doesn't, as his family is here and he is busy. Simple conversation and many sentences which you can use in different contexts when you are speaking. Here is number 9. Did you come to my office yesterday? Yes, I did. I didn't find you there, though. Next time you do, you must give me a call before you arrive. I didn't know till the last minute, so couldn't tell you in advance. I do understand. I feel bad that we didn't get to meet yesterday. I too feel bad. Next time I shall call you first. So, simple conversation about making an appointment meeting in the office. Here is number 10. Could you tell me where the police outpost is? You could have asked that traffic policeman at the corner. Do you think he will be able to help? I'm sure he can give you the best direction. I daren't disturb him. He's so busy directing traffic. You may try when he's a little free. So, again, a very simple conversation. Conversation again about asking something and then getting a suggestion from the other person. Now, here is number 11. It has slightly longer sentences and some small, short ones too. Won't you attend the program on Sunday? Maybe I will, but I need to visit my old aunt also on Sunday. Could you tell me the exact time of the program? It's at 3 p.m. May end by 6. Oh, that's difficult. I don't think I'll be able to attend. Next time you must make yourself free. Don't make any excuses then. So you have two people talking about a Sunday program and how to attend. See how many different contexts are there. If you have all these sentences in your mind, you can start using them. Use sentences from all the different ones, combine one with four and things like that, and make your own pieces of conversation. Practice them again and again. That will help you to keep these sentences in mind. Now we have number 12. May I introduce myself? Yes, that would be nice. We must get to know our neighbors. We might become good friends too. I'm sure we will. We can meet often if you are free. We should find out about our common interest first. I used to play chess earlier. It's my hobby. But now I don't have anyone to play with. You can teach me as I don't know how to play chess. Then we can play every evening. So you can see how two friends who are strangers actually are becoming friends and chess companions. We move on to the 13th dialogue out of the 14. And here we start with the word litter. Litter means putting some paper or some garbage and throwing it around. That is the litter. So you mustn't litter this area. You mustn't make it dirty. Is there a bin where I can throw these things? You may find one round the corner. You have to walk a little. Shouldn't they keep a bin here too? They ought to, but till then you need to go there. There means at the corner. Could we make a suggestion to someone to do this fast? That would be nice if you can get it done. So somebody is throwing paper on the road, you can use a conversation like this. You're not supposed to throw it here. And then what suggestion you can give. Here is the last of our practice dialogues, simple dialogues with auxiliary verbs. I daren't go out now. There's a heavy downpour. Wherever there are verbs, auxiliary verbs, you have to go and check the lesson on auxiliary verbs. You will be able to get all the explanation. I'm not giving much explanation here. I daren't go out now. I dare not. There is a heavy downpour. But you said you need to get some books urgently. Weren't they the books you used to read earlier? No, the ones I need to read now are different. You ought to wait till the rain stops. It may stop soon. I dare say you're right. I dare say is an expression. It has nothing to do with the meaning of the auxiliary verb. Here, the verb dare say, the usage is, I think you're right. I dare say you're right. I might fall ill if I go out in the rain. So this is the last of our dialogues. This video is for beginners specially, and for all of you who struggle for sentences when you are in a simple conversation, a one-to-one conversation with a stranger or a friend. I have had many people telling me that on the telephone, I'm very confident I can speak, but when it comes face to face, I have problem. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that if you are face to face, you can practice on your own so that when you meet somebody, you can use these sentences. When you meet somebody, you can make slight changes, or you can combine 2, 3 sentences, and you can have an interesting dialogue. Unless you practice regularly, unless you try to converse with yourself, you be both the characters. Like I read it out to you, you read it out. If you feel comfortable, put 2 chairs in your room. In one chair, you sit and read one sentence, then you go to the other chair and speak the reply or the question. In this way, you will be doing an entire role play and the conversation remains in your mind. When you adopt such techniques, it helps you. That is why I'm giving you some vocabulary word games. If you see the word games, you develop the vocabulary much faster. Otherwise, just learning the words, their meanings, and one sentence for usage is not a very easy way of learning vocabulary. We have to learn both ways. So please try. These, 14 dialogues should make you perfect in small, we call it as small talk, social conversation. It is called in English small talk. So this is all small talk. And then you can also add to your own, your own sentences, your own questions to these 4 or 5 sentences per dialogue which I have given. Thank you and all the best.